what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. This is gonna be a little different. So I gotta move some rocks and stuff outside, and the wheelbarrow just isn't going to cut it. So I needed something better, and went out and got this huge Gorilla dump cart. And well, I gotta put it together. So this video is going to be, first, how easy or difficult is it to put together, and second, how is it overall? Let's find out. Alright, lucky for me, I got my Devo growler that's been in my pocket for almost 2 weeks now. I've been carrying the hell out of this thing. Awesome freaking knife. Devo growler. Alright, so taking it out of the box, we see that everything fits really nicely inside the actual tub. So you don't have to worry about losing pieces or things getting scattered. That's a good start. One of the things I really liked about this, seeing it in Home Depot, was the real rubber tires. It's so much better than those plastic wheels. And the fact that they're big, these things got to be 12-inch. The fact that they're big is really, really helpful, especially when you have loose dirt and rocks that you have to get through. It's going to make pulling this thing so much easier than anything with small or even just plastic wheels. I have to say, it's packaged really well. This thing was wrapped in a bubble wrap with tons of tape on it. There are zip ties and packaging straps all through this thing. So, like I said with my Devo growler, make sure you have a good blade or a good set of clippers, because you're really going to need to be using an edge or some kind of cutting system. Alright, so all the parts are out. You have the dump handle. I've got all my bolts and whatnot. I have this little bracket here. I've got the handle here. And they do you a really good solid by not making you have to put everything together. So a couple of the parts actually come pre-put together. Alright, so I'm going to start just by putting a little handle on. It's the last step in the actual instructions, but it's right in front of me. So all I have to do, this comes like this. You just slide this forward and you put this pin through there. That's pretty simple. And just like that, that part's done. So the way they label all the hardware is pretty cool. You see step one, step one, step one. It literally goes in order. Don't forget, this is where you're trying to do this with one hand, where your edge comes in. You're still going to need your edge to cut out your hardware. Another good thing that I wish more people would do, all the hardware seems to be one size. I believe it's all 13 millimeter. Alright, so stage one is taking one of these guys, part one, and you just push it straight through the inside of the tub. On the outside of the tub, you have this guy right here that lines up with these 4 holes, right? You're just going to do that. Then you're going to take your washer, slide it over your bolt, and then you're going to take your nut. Make sure, I know this is stupid to say, but make sure that little skinny lip is on top. Alright, and then you're just going to screw that on, and then I will use a ratchet to tighten it once I have the other 3 on. It takes a little thumb strength to push these through the hole, but they do go through. And just make sure that you get it all the way into the countersunk section. That way when you tighten, your bolt won't spin. That's important. Tighten until snug. Alright, so next, as we're putting on the big bracket that came pretty much together, all you're doing is putting it next to this bracket, line up this hole with that hole, and we put in the bolt. Alright, so it's got this little rubber plug, and it looks like it goes in between the 2 pieces. So you just put it right in there, and then you're going to slide that over and put in your bolt. But I got to do the one on the other side first. Alright, so you stick your bolt through, and then the washer, remember, goes on the inside with the bolt, not the, with the nut, not the outside. I'm gonna need 2 hands to do this. I'm trying to hold you guys with one hand. So that goes that way. Do it on both sides and tighten them up. So remember, on these you're going to need 2 different wrenches. I was able to use my 13 millimeter on the nut, and then I took a 1/2 inch and put it on the actual bolt. So if you have a 1/2 inch and a 13 millimeter, it's going to work just fine. Tighten to snug. The axles come with these little rubber boots on the end. Don't forget to take them off. All right, so next is putting on the axle. The long bolts go to the rear, obviously, because this is long, and then the short bolts will go to the front. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to line up because the hole's way back here, but this actually shifts. So once you get these in, you can shift those to match. And don't forget, these have the square backs. So again, you're going to be using your thumb, just like we did on the first ones, to push all the way through. All right, so once those are all snug, you can actually come up here and tighten these guys because they come a little bit loose, just so you can go ahead and put these on and move them, because you're going to need to move them back and forth and bow them out so it fits easily. All right, so next is the wheels. This goes on the outside. If you put that on the inside, you can't fill your tires when you need them filled. So all you're going to do is slip on the wheel, and then you're going to see the axle sticking out there. Well, all you're going to do is take one washer and put it over there. And then, I need my other hand to do this, but you're just going to take this guy and just slip it through. Let's see if I can try and get this with one hand. I'm stuck in it. Let me open it up. All right, that's better. So all I'm going to do is slip that through and lock it down. And now my wheel isn't going anywhere. All right, once all 4 are on, flip it over. The dump handle is pretty simple. It's just got 4 holes in it for 4 bolts. And you can see that 2 of them are close, 2 of them are wide, 2 of them are close, 2 of them are wide. So you can't screw this one up. For some simple yet very good engineering, what they do is they countersink the holes and they make them cut out to be octagonal or hexagonal. So when you stick it through, you don't have to worry about your bolt spinning because it locks itself into the hole. Gotta love that. Tighten until snug. All right, so the last piece is going to be the arm. You'll notice that this has a square on the end. That is so when you stick it through the hole, it's going to lock in. So when you put on your nut, that won't turn, so you don't need an additional tool to get that on. But we have to put this piece in first. Oh, hold on. All right, so it's going to look a whole lot like that. Now I just got to tighten it down. So how tight you want this is up to you. You want it to be able to move. So if you make it so tight it can't move, then you're going to be in a world of hurt when you try to use this thing. But if you tighten it to where it's just a bit tacky, it'll hold up. And that's going to be absolutely A-okay. I have to say that all in all, hey girl, it's nice. It's a nice looking piece. It's big. It's going to hold a lot of stone. I forget the weight. Let's look up some of the specs here. All right, so it is an impact-resistant poly bed. It says 2-in-1 tow handle. I don't know how it's 2-in-1, but it works. Let's see, quick release dump. This is one of the really cool things. You grab this, and it's really easy to lift up. See how the wheels come together? Oh, I like that. That's a really nice system. Extra wide stability, and here we go. We have 13-inch pneumatic tires. It has 7 cubic foot of capacity, and this thing has a max load of 1,200 pounds. So you're going to notice all these little slots right here. You can take 1x2s, it looks like, or maybe a 1x3, and you can put boards right here, and then you can take any kind of whatever you want to use, like chicken wire, mesh, or anything, and you can raise however you want. So if you're carrying something light but takes up a lot of room, if like hay, you don't want to just fill this with hay and take 700 trips. So you can literally build it as high as you want and then put hay going 6 feet into the sky and carry that. Another good thing is if you're going into a place and you want to bring your dog and they don't want your dog running around, you put a dog bed right in here, and now you can bring your dog wherever you go. Same thing with your kids. Like if you're going to 4th of July and you want to bring your kids, you can put some stuff in there and bring your kids. Now, especially with a dog too, just like I said, you could build it up. You could build your own little cage around it so your dog can't get out, and that, or your kid. You could build a cage for your kid, but you can do that, and that will be absolutely perfect. Let's take it outside and use it. All right, I had to bring it down 2 stairs in the house, and it rolled. There's the dog dumping, and it rolled straight through. All right, I got about 250 pounds of stone in there, and it wheels with like almost no effort at all. That is nice. All right, yeah, you guys. Oh, I got hung up on my bicycle tire. My bicycle, I got hung up. All right, let's move that over a little bit. My tire hit the pedal. You can see I have one finger. This is so easy to control. The steering is 100% on point. That's a couple 100 pounds of stone right there. I was able to stop it from hitting me. No problem. Let's keep going. All right, so I'm going to wheel it over some of this packed in dirt. And we're going to come over to this loose sand. You know, I thought even if you're a parent with like little kids, you can see that the ruts in the sand, no problem. If you're a parent of little kids and you like to exercise and you want to go for a walk, this would be great to put little kids in so you can walk and not have to worry about leaving them in the house or with a stranger. So over here, oh, wrong way. Over here, I have like this rut, and the rut is caused from my dumpster being picked up. So what I need to do is fill this entire area with stone. And that was one of the main reasons we got this thing, was this area right here is soft. And we have the RV that I drive right to the left of this little tree. I come through here when I pull it out. And with these little ruts, sometimes it gets stuck. And that sucks. I need to dig it out, and it's just a pain in the butt. But having the ability to move all this stone is going to be really good. So now, with all this weight, I want to find out how easy it's going to be to lift the dump. I mean, I'm a big, strong guy, but I didn't need to be for that. That was actually pretty easy. Let's see. We got that. Now I'll put some more. Look, I'm inside the rut there. So now what I'm going to do is just drive this, push it backwards, and finish it off right here with the rest of the stone. And that's pretty simple. That's pretty simple. Now I could take my rake, my metal rake, and dump out everything, or I can just continue to dump it and then rake all my stone inside the hole. So if you're like building a patio with pavers and brick and all that, and you need to move them, something like this is great. I mean, that's all one-handed operation. I'm holding the phone. So this is going to make life so damn simple. The Gorilla dump cart. You can find them at Home Depot. I'll tell you what, it's worth the find. This thing is fantastic. It was easier to build with 0 headaches than anything from IKEA. This thing's great. This is great. This is going to be a very, very good investment. All right, so that's it for this one. Hi, I'm Donnie B all day. Until next video.